And that is a Premier League record as it stands. What does this tell you about this Liverpool team? Is it a concentration thing? What is it?
I'm not sure about concentration. It's a lack of ability at the moment, a lack of playing well. I mean, they should be in the lead. They shouldn't be, at 1-1 and under pressure in the last minutes of games. But yeah, once it happens once or twice, you get that sinking feeling, oh, could it happen again? And you sort of sit back and you protect pressure in the last minutes of games. But yeah, once it happens once or twice, you get that sinking feeling, oh, could it happen again? And you sort of sit back and you protect it a bit. And not scoring enough goals to kill games off, not creating enough chances for the possession that they've had, letting teams in, soft goals all the time, and a lot of it could be avoided.
Really average, says Michael. Let's now get the thoughts of the Liverpool manager, Arne Slot. He's been speaking post-match.
Arne, clearly a bad result. How do you analyse that if you can?
Of course you can. Like you said, bad result. Far from a good first half. Second half there was a bit more urgency. We were getting closer and closer to scoring a goal, but then conceded probably the first moment they arrived in and around our box. We immediately struck back, first by hitting the post, afterwards Mo. And then we were twice close of making the winner, with Mo Salah once in the counter-attack and with Virgil's header. But in the end conceded a deflected shot, which wasn't even a chance.
Yeah, I guess the manner, though, of the way you maybe lose chances, if not goals, is that frustrating? It must be.
Yeah, of course, because even more because we know how hard we have to work to score a goal. Because, I said before the game, recently we were mainly scoring from set pieces. We create enough chances, but we find it quite hard to convert those chances into goals. And then conceding two is too much to get a result.
And you mentioned you didn't really feel the team gave much in the first half. That's unfortunately for you a recurring theme, isn't it?
No, I wouldn't say gave a lot, but I saw more urgency the second half than the first half. So also in the first half we had a lot of ball possession, but weren't able to penetrate a lot of times in their 18-yard box, which we were able to do more in the second half than in the first half.
You don't feel you have a slow start to games? Is that just an impression we get from the outside?
No, last week we had a very good start, scoring 3 goals. But yeah, there are 2 teams on the pitch, and usually the team you face is also fitter in the first half than the second half. So sometimes you need to put something in it in the first half to let them keep on running, because we have so much ball possession. Then they are a bit more tired in the second half, and that's why it opened it up a little bit more the second half. But hardly conceded a chance, created not so much, but more than they did. But the result is again a 2-1 loss.
And a frustration, I imagine, because it's not the first time this season you feel you've got a little momentum and then you lose that momentum. Is that, again, fair?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. We are losing far too many football games and dropping points. And was it again in extra time today that we conceded? Yeah. So the 3 times we lost in the last 22 games is all 3 times in extra time.
And you've got to come back here and do it again Friday?
Yeah, which is a good thing and a nice thing, because we have something to prove on Friday.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's interesting because Liverpool obviously were champions last season. They've lost 9 games this season. They only lost 4 last season. That must be quite a big shift in mentality and hard for the players to get used to that, Michael.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. It's they were so dominant last season. They, was it 10 points, as you say? They won it easily last season, and they pretty much rested a few players towards the end of the season. Last 2 or 3 games, didn't get any decent results. They could have won the league by 15, 16 points. It was a breeze for them. And then, of course, over the summer, all the players that they signed, all the money that they spent, everybody thought this is going to be another Liverpool victory. Most people thought Liverpool would win the league. But it's just not happened like that. It's been a funny season for them. Certain players have been under par. They obviously lost 1 or 2 players that were influential last season. 1 or 2 of the new signings didn't really hit the ground running, and they've never recovered. They've never got that momentum. They've been playing okay in patches, but even at the weekend, they beat West Ham 5-2. It was very underwhelming. The scoreline was a lot you know, more positive than the actual performance. And I was never coming into this game. I mean, you asked me before the game, you know, Liverpool back, are they? And I was like, don't think so. No, I can't be confident with them at the moment. It's just a strange thing, and they need to get their act together quick, because Champions League football is an absolute necessity for next season. I mean, you can hide behind it and say that, oh, that'd be a positive if Liverpool finish in the top 5. It'll still be a disappointing season. But I mean, if they don't finish top 5, then it's a disaster.
Is there special? They've certainly found form, and they look like they've got all the tools to make it a little bit interesting, at least.
In terms of not being bottom of the league, yes.
Yeah.
They have been very, very good in recent times. But they've just left a little too late, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, they've got something going. The crowd are all of a sudden behind them again. And of course, it's always a question, is it? Is it the crowd? Is it the players? Do you have to give the crowd something? But whatever it is, they're all together again now, and it hasn't felt like that for a lot of the season. But they're not going down with a whimper. They're putting on a good show for a bit of respect and a bit of pride if they don't finish bottom. Who knows, if they win another couple of games in the next, they start looking at it thinking we're only a few points behind, all of a sudden they start getting excited, but realistically they're still goners.
There was a lot said, wasn't there, about when Rob Edwards opted to leave Middlesbrough, a team chasing promotion to the Premier League. We could be talking about them in the studio next season, but he knows the club. He played there in his career. He started his coaching journey there as well. We've seen him 2 games in a row now run up the touchline. He talked about Villa being one of the most special moments of his career that will live with him forever. Maybe now we're seeing what they're trying to do, and the fact that he is trying to build something and rebuild this club, I suppose, after a difficult couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, credit to him for making that decision. He knew how he felt about Wolves as a football club. He talked about the connection he's got, wanted to go back, knew it was a big decision, knew he was stepping into a really difficult situation in terms of looking like they're already adrift at the bottom of the Premier League. But he has just found something, hasn't he? And that's the kind of passion that players can buy into and get behind, and know that the guy they're following, the guy they're listening to, is completely passionate about this football club. And you want to buy into that. You want to work for a guy like that. You want to do what this guy's saying, because you know he's got the club's best interest at heart. And the players have really, as I say, bought in to the journey he's trying to take them on. And as Michael says, it looks like it's going to be too much this season to stay in the Premier League. But this could be a long-term relationship. This could be a long-term situation that, you know, he's already brought Luton into the Premier League. He could well bring them back if they go down this season. They could he could be the Wolves manager for many years to come. And if he's going to retain that passion, the players will love playing for him.
Yeah, only begs the question, what would their season have looked like if they'd brought him in a little bit sooner? Let's take a look then at the goals that we did see during this game, including the Wolves opener. We heard from Rodrigo Gomez there, and he said he very much enjoyed this. What did you make of this?
I bet he did, yeah. Liverpool will be disappointed with it, but from Wolves' point of view, quite direct. Use the big man, the strength, good hold-up play, lays it off. I think Virgil van Dijk will be a little bit disappointed. Szoboszlai, Gomez runs off him. You know, he gets attracted to the ball in many ways, but still Liverpool are a 2v1 really at the back, and then one joins, Gomez joins. Van Dijk a little bit weak. I actually think as well Konate can get a touch on this. I think he possibly scared of giving a penalty. He ends up trying to shoulder